Welcome to the Geek Easy. Sit back, grab a libation of your choice, and relax, 'cause it's time to do some geek stuff in the Geek Easy. Welcome to the Geek Easy, fellow geeks. Let's grab a beverage of your choice, because today we are going to be reviewing Justice League Warworld. Okay, I did not know really anything about this movie other than what I read on the back. And I know virtually nothing about Warworld in the comics. So I was kind of going in blind. But this was kind of an interesting flick. It's got the overall story, but it also includes three different, I don't want to really say vignettes, but it's got three different kind of stories that are, you don't realize it until the end, that are intertwined somewhat in the overall arc of the story. The first one is a Western, where you have a mysterious gunslinger coming to town, kind of like the old Clint Eastwood, old Eastwood spaghetti Western, the man with no name, right? But it is Diana, and she is up against Jonah Hex. And there is kind of a thing she has to go up against Hex and deal with that. And once that reaches its conclusion, she kind of goes off into the sunset. And it bumps to a kind of a sword and sorcery Conan type thing with little elements of Raiders of the Lost Ark thrown in there, where you have Batman, Bruce Wayne, up against and working with Warlord and Warlord's enemy, and then Diana shows up in there. So it's went from one superhero who doesn't know who she is to Bruce Wayne, Batman, who doesn't know who he is, and Diana, who doesn't know who she is, but they recognize each other. And then they kind of deal with the situation they're in and get bumped to another area, another story where it's kind of a 1950s kind of Twilight Zone, black and white sci-fi story with the landing of a UFO and Agent Clark Kent dealing with Majestic 12 and trying to figure out what the UFO is and who the person who might have been on it comes from. And that all leads into, I really don't want to say the third act, because, but it builds up to the conclusion and you find out what's going on. And since you're on Warworld, they become aware of what's going on, and they have to fight and see why they're there and what happened and why they couldn't, what was going on. And it was kind of an interesting take on the way on the way to do things. I liked it's just like, this is different. The storytelling was kind of good. The animation style was a little different than what they normally have for the DC animated movies. I guess with each incarnation of the phases, should I say, in the animation, the style changes. So you had the New 52, and there was that style. Then they switched from the New 52 back to another, so that's different. And now this kind is different. And it looks like they're setting up for something different. Because it got to a point, and it's like, boom, they mentioned something, and then it's set up very heavily for what looks like a continuation. And there's a character at the end that you're like, okay, who is that? Who is that? Okay, that reminds me of it looked to me like one other person doing something that another person should have been doing. And I had to watch the special features to find out who that other person was. And it was the person who was supposed to be doing this stuff, not the person looked like. So I don't want to give away. The reason I'm being vague is I don't want to give away the kind of surprise at the end. But they changed the character's appearance enough that it was just like, who the hell is that? But if they're going to do what they say they're going to do, this ought to be really interesting, and it looks like that it would be awesome if they were able to do that in live action. But I don't know if they're going to or not. It would be too big of an event in DC's track record as of late with their movies. Their live action movies is not good, and especially with I don't even know if they could even do an event that would be up to par. So let's just leave it with animation. But this wasn't my favorite. It was better than the last couple ones they did with the Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, or whatever it was movie, and then the Legion of Superheroes thing. I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of 5. And just say, it was nice to be able to see because they did something different. But it would be kind of nice to keep back to the, this other type of, the regular type of stuff that they do, as opposed to going out into the fantastical realms and things. I mean, it was nice to see this one time, but I don't really think that they should make much of a habit of it. So I'm just going to say 3.5 out of 5 and say, yeah. Anyway, let me know if you've read it, what you thought of it. Like, subscribe, most of all, enjoy your superhero movies.